What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out Sports Concepts. In this video, we'll be looking at how the Major League Baseball playoffs work. So as usual, let's start by looking at the big picture. There are two leagues in Major League Baseball. You have the American League and the National League. And these leagues are each divided further into three divisions: the East, the Central, and the West. So let's go ahead and look at a snapshot of all six divisions at once. So here you go. Here's the six divisions in Major League Baseball. As you can see, you have the American League East, American League Central, American League West at the top, and then on the bottom, the National League East, the National League Central, and the National League West. Now, how do you make the playoffs? How do you get into the playoffs? Well, let's take one of these divisions as an example. Let's use the National League West, which has the Dodgers, Padres, Rockies, Giants, and Diamondbacks. So here's the standings from last year. As you can see, the San Francisco Giants had a really good year, 94 and 68, and that was good enough to win their division. Now, again, if you win your division, if you finish as the best team record-wise within your division, you get to go to the playoffs. So right here, the Giants won pretty easily, actually. As you can see, the next best team was the Dodgers at 86 and 76. So the Giants with 94 wins, that's good enough to win their division, and they're going to the playoffs. So apply that same concept now to the other five divisions in baseball, and here's what you get. Here's all the division winners in Major League Baseball from last year. As you can see, the Yankees won the American League East, the Detroit Tigers won the American League Central, and the Oakland A's won the American League West. In the same way, the National League, the Washington Nationals won the National League East, the Cincinnati Reds won the National League Central, and we just talked about the Giants winning the NL West. So these six teams each get to go to the playoffs. Now, in addition to these six teams, these six divisional winners, you also have four wild card winners. Now, what are wild card winners? Well, basically what they are is the two best second place teams from each league. So you look at the American League, the Texas Rangers did not win their division. They finished second behind the Oakland A's in the American League West. Likewise, the Orioles finished second behind the Yankees in the AL East. In the same way, the Braves and Cardinals each finished in second in the National League East and Central, respectively. So these four teams are the best second place teams in their leagues, if that makes sense. So if you look at the American League, the Texas Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles each get a wild card spot, and in the same way the Braves and the Cardinals each get a wild card spot themselves, and they get to go to the playoffs as well. So here's the total playoff picture, including both the division winners and the wild card winners. As you can see, you've got five teams in each league. In the American League, you've got the Yankees, A's, Tigers, and Rangers, and the Baltimore Orioles. And in the National League, you've got the Nationals, the Reds, the Giants, the Braves, and the Cardinals. So these are the 10 teams in the playoffs, and right off the bat, you can see that poses a little bit of a problem because if you start pairing these teams off, you're going to have one team as the odd man out that won't have a partner. So the way this works is you actually have a preliminary wild card round where the wild card teams all battle it out to see who will remain in the playoff picture. So you look at the wild card winners, and the Baltimore Orioles, being the lower seeded wild card team in the American League, will go to Texas for a one-game playoff, and they will play in Texas. Now, why? You must be asking, why do the Baltimore Orioles have to face the Rangers? I mean, they tied, right? 93 and 69. There's some tiebreakers that determine who gets home field advantage in the case that two teams tie. You can find that information on Major League Baseball in MLB.com. So as a result, you can see that the Texas Rangers are the higher wild card team, the higher seeded wild card team. So they host the Baltimore Orioles for that one game play-in. And over in the National League, the same thing's going on with the Braves. They are the better wild card team, so they will host the Cardinals for one game in their ballpark. So whoever wins this game between the American League and the National League, they get to advance on to the next round of the playoffs in their respective leagues. So here's what happened. As you can see, the Baltimore Orioles actually went into Texas and beat the Rangers, and the same thing happened in Atlanta. The Cardinals went into Atlanta and won that game, and now the Baltimore Orioles and the St. Louis Cardinals get to advance to the next round of the playoffs where all those other divisional winners come back, and you go to the League Division Series, often nicknamed, or rather abbreviated, the ALDS or NLDS for American League Division Series and National League Division Series. So as you can see, seeds 1 through 3 for both the AL and the NL are all the division winners, and then seeds 5 here at the bottom, Baltimore Orioles and St. Louis Cardinals, are the wild card winners from that preliminary round. So now you start pairing these guys off. The top seed, which is the New York Yankees in the American League, and the Washington Nationals in the National League, will face the lowest seed, which is the Baltimore Orioles in the AL and the St. Louis Cardinals in the NL. So one will host four, or rather five, and two will host three. And here you go. Those are the matchups. Now, when I say host, what I mean is that they will get home field advantage. The American League Division Series is a 5 game series, and assuming that it goes all 5 games, the higher seed will get 3 games in their own ballpark. So if each of these series here goes 5, the Yankees will get 3 in Yankee Stadium, the A's will get 3 at their ballpark, the Reds, the Nationals will get 3, etc., etc. So that's what that means. So let's go ahead and look at the results from the ALDS and NLDS. Okay, there you go. The Yankees won. The Tigers beat the A's. The St. Louis Cardinals beat the Nationals. And the San Francisco Giants beat the Reds. So these 4 teams now get to advance to what's known as the League Championship Series. Once again, this is often called the ALCS or the NLCS. And as you can see, the Yankees are the highest remaining seed in the American League, and the Tigers are the lowest remaining seed in the American League. So the Yankees will get the home field advantage in this series in the same way the Giants will get home field advantage against the Cardinals because they're higher seeded. They're a 3 and the Cardinals are a 5 seed. Now, unlike the ALDS, or rather the ALDS or NLDS, the ALCS and NLCS is a 7 game series. The league championship series goes 7 games if the teams battle it out and goes that far. So since it's a 7 game series, the Yankees, if it goes 7 games, will get 4 games in Yankee Stadium, and San Francisco Giants will get 4 games in their ballpark if their series also goes 7 games. That's called home field advantage once again. So let's go ahead and look at the results from these matchups. Okay, so the Tigers beat the Yankees and the Giants beat the Cardinals in the league championship series. Now, that makes the Tigers AL champs and the Cardinals, or rather the Giants, National League champs. So that sets up a World Series between Detroit and San Francisco. So as you can see here, the Giants actually have a better record than the Tigers at 94 and 68, whereas the Tigers have an 88 and 74 record. So our previous logic would tell us the Giants get home field advantage in the World Series, which again is 7 games, but that's not how it works. Home field advantage in the World Series is not determined by record, it's actually determined by the winner of the All-Star game, believe it or not. So you go back to the previous year's, the previous All-Star game leading up to the World Series, and last year the National League won. So as a result, the National League team gets home field advantage in the World Series, even if they are technically a worse team than the American League. If your league wins the All-Star game, you get home field advantage. So that's a little crazy, and it's unlike any other sport, but that's how it works in baseball. So as a result, the Giants get home field advantage, and that actually works out perfectly because they are a better team. I mean, they have 6 more wins than the Tigers, so they get home field advantage in the World Series, and they played it out. And let's see what happened. As you can see, the San Francisco Giants beat the Detroit Tigers, and they became World Series champions last year. The San Francisco Giants, second time in 3 years. Wow, congrats, guys. So that's pretty much how the Major League Baseball playoffs work, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We have a lot more to offer if you want to see how other sports do their playoff brackets and things like that. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Take care.